I exposed my friend's affair because I've had enough of her.
I've had enough.
My now ex-friend, 30s female, and I, 25 female, met just after my oldest daughter was born and discharged from the NICU. We're both preemie moms. We had been extremely close friends for the last 6 years and practically sisters. We always had each other's backs. By the way, this comes from Live Livin' 5199, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Angie.
And I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you do in the comments. And OP says, her ex-husband, we'll call him Bob, and we'll call her Taylor, had been in an awful marriage. After going to Taylor's house the first time, I learned how harmful Bob was, but also how dysfunctional Taylor was. I understand being a mother and things getting overwhelming, and I'm never usually one to judge. However, the entire time I've known her, she struggled to maintain her household and care for her 3 kids. Her house was consistently messy and chaotic, and she would drink heavily. There was a year or 2 of no communication with her for unrelated reasons, but during that time, she divorced Bob. She eventually ended up with her current fiancé, let's call him Kyle, since it's so fitting. Kyle is such a bad person that he makes Bob look like a saint. Taylor is forced into isolation by Kyle, who is always under the influence and playing video games. He's been known to open credit cards or loans in her name, drain her finances, and never help with household responsibilities or childcare. Both of them have been known to make poor decisions regarding their children's safety. She's become a nightmare in her own way. Back to the isolation issue. I got them to agree to a game night with all adults, me, Kyle, Taylor, and also now ex-friend of mine we'll call Jerome. I wasn't up for drinking, so I was the only one drinking juice. During this game night, Kyle decided to call Jerome a racial slur and made continuous discriminatory comments.
Oh, wow.
I snapped at Kyle, and he screamed back at me some awful things. Taylor refused to intervene, and we left. Whoa, okay.
That's pretty serious.
Yikes.
Pretty serious stuff.
That night, April 2024, Taylor and Jerome began talking and eventually ended up in a spicy affair the night of my birthday.
Oof.
I'm sorry. Her current fiance calls Jerome racial slurs. And then she's like, instead of I'm going to break up with this guy, I'm going to sleep with the guy that he slurred.
It's a really good way to say I'm sorry.
They had an affair the night of my birthday, using it as a cover to hook up. This is the earliest that I know of personally, but I do know this is one of many times they had slept together. She's continued to get worse and now only gets to see her kids once a week, but he is attempting to get full custody. Kyle is legally not allowed alone with her children due to his substance issues and behavior. I repeatedly brought it up to her that she should think about her children's well-being. Not only with her engagement, but also with the fact that their living situation has become increasingly unstable. The children's living conditions have gotten progressively worse, with inadequate sleeping arrangements and very few belongings. If they try keeping their few toys neat, they'll be accused of making a mess, and the toys will be thrown away for good. Taylor used to work at the same school where I substituted, and I learned she was fired after an incident with a special education child involving inappropriate behavior. She is now not allowed to work with or be around children either. What?
Wow.
So Taylor is awful.
Yeah.
Her fiance is awful.
Yeah.
She's cheating with Jerome. Why are we friends with these people?
There's a lot going on here.
I'm sorry, if someone gets fired for inappropriate behavior with a kid, I'm like, I can't be friends with you.
Yeah.
She is now not allowed to work with or be around children either. There's so much more to unpack, but I'm trying to keep this brief. However, yes, reports were made by many people who've witnessed their own sides to these things, but nothing was done. Our CPS agency is known for not helping. Now to the main issue. I've made it abundantly clear more times than I can count that with her affair and with how dysfunctional their relationship is, she should not be with Kyle. She considered leaving many times, and as someone who understands difficult relationships myself, I gave her the benefit of the doubt with her hesitation. I eventually realized that this was no longer about being stuck in a bad situation. This was how she was from the start. and I had been blind to it out of optimism. My partner and I ended up having to move to a place that didn't allow pets, and it was an emergency situation. We found close friends to have our pets go to where we knew they would be safe, cared for, loved, and would thrive. We get updates every day and are still actively part of our fur babies' lives. Despite this, I got a message in the middle of the night when Taylor thought I was asleep. Roughly a week prior to this message, she was having an indirect tantrum about me being pregnant again. I bought a dress a year ago with what little money we had due to the wedding date constantly changing, but I got one that would fit me regardless and that she approved of. She originally wanted me to be her maid of honor, but switched me to a bridesmaid without telling me. Whoa, that's a big switch.
It really is.
Her new maid of honor bailed on her, and I had offered to help her ensure everything was in order, but she refused. She would punt me out of the group chat. I learned she talked horribly about me to someone who attempted to sleep with my fiancé, and so on. Why are we friends with Taylor? Why are we friends with her?
Why is she around? I have a feeling it's like, I don't know, childhood friend, something like that. There's a lot of years behind this friendship or something.
But she's such a bad friend.
Yeah. Bad person even.
Such a bad person. When the text came in, it said that because of Kyle, they didn't want me in the wedding. He had claimed I mistreated my pets. Mind you, the situation we were in caused me to rehome them to close friends and ensure their care and a bunch of other things. I had finally had enough of their crap. It wasn't about the wedding. Honestly, I was extremely relieved to not be forced to go and had been dreading it for months because I don't take marriage or affairs lightly. Out of respect for what I thought was my friend, I kept my mouth closed about the affair, including for a better part of the time following. What bothered me the most was that I had been there for her to help her every chance I got, even when she was at her lowest points due to her drinking. I've had things said to me and let it go. I personally dealt with a lot, but never complained. Being tossed to the side is one thing, but being accused of something horrible is another. My reaction in that moment was to snap back about how they treat their household, her kids, their relationship, and tell her she better tell him about the affair then. It's not my proudest moment, but I'm pregnant and pissed. I took a month since then to collect myself and ended up deciding to do something. I reached out to Bob and his sister about everything the kids have been going through and warned them about what course she planned to take. I did this under an alias for my own family's protection, but sent over some proof. A few weeks later now, I got a reminder on my phone of their wedding coming up and ignored it. I went onto Facebook to doom scroll and saw my old post of when they were first hooking up. To my knowledge, I basically said enough was enough. As much as I absolutely hate Kyle, he never cheated on Taylor and deserved to know. I know it may seem like a petty thing, but I assure you I assessed it prior to doing this. I got onto an alias and messaged Kyle about the affair. I can't take that to my grave either, and it's been eating at me since I was aware of it. They used me to cover for them more times than I can count, and I absolutely hate things like this. I needed to put this to rest and not worry about a friendship breaking when it's already been broken. It's also been causing significant stress to me no matter how hard I tried to ignore it. With heart failure, it's already affected my health substantially.
Oh, wow.
But I feel selfish for needing this skeleton out of my closet and back to where it belongs. And you guys belong anywhere that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like that. And that includes Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up Storytime.
Do it.
There is a little bit left of the story, but do you have any final thoughts? Because, whoa.
Wow.
Wowie.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I'm never one for, revenge or anything like that.
Yeah.
This doesn't even, you could call it revenge, I guess. But, if you're not going to be friends with her anyway.
Yeah. We certainly aren't going to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I certainly hope not.
And if it's been affecting your health too, I think I'm pretty okay with you telling him.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty okay.
Yeah. I definitely think that we should have stopped being her friend when she started cheating on someone actively.
Yeah.
Definitely think we should have stopped being her friend when she got banned from being around minors.
Yeah, those are
concerning.
Lots of good reasons to stop being her friend.
Edit. So today's the day of their wedding. Kyle has not seen my message yet, so I took a more drastic measure.
Oh boy.
I went through my texts and found the proof of Taylor's affair with Jerome. I had evidence from when I was helping coordinate things between them, not knowing the full extent of what was happening. The texts show me acting as a go-between back in January. Why were we acting as a go-between? On January 6th, around 10 p.m., I was texting Jerome saying I was talking to Taylor and she wasn't opposed to something, and he responded excitedly. 20 minutes later, I told him to pick up his phone because Taylor had said yes to him taking her out on a date that Friday.
I'm sorry.
So you knew.
Are we in middle school?
Also, you absolutely, like OP said, oh yeah, I didn't know the full extent. You knew they were cheating together.
Yeah, what? You're doing middle school, like, hey, Taylor has a crush on you, Jerome. Okay, Taylor said yes, that she would go on a date with you. What?
Yeah, Sailor Shelley says, hear me out, everyone sucks here. I don't need to hear you out because I agree.
Yeah, honestly, now, yeah, that's weird.
Then on January 10th, which was my birthday party where they hooked up for the first time, Jerome texted 5 years later with crying emojis. After we all went home around midnight and they left together at 2:07 a.m., Jerome texted me, dropping her off in 3 minutes. I have more evidence, but I need to find it, since most of their communication was through calls, Snapchat, and in-person conversations. Looking at these texts now, I can see how I was being used to help facilitate their affair without fully understanding what was happening at the time. Come on.
I mean, maybe she's saying date now.
No.
But, like, back then, she just thought they were hanging out, but still.
Like, come on. Like, use your brain. If someone says, hey, can you text this person for me?
Right.
I'm thinking, are they, like, into each other?
Yeah. Like,
oh, they're hanging out this
yeah, because why? Just why? I mean, any of it is just, like, so middle school of, like, having a go-between like that. But if it was just, like, a friend thing, it's just like, oh, yeah, like, just can I have her number?
Yes.
And then I'll text her.
Weird.
Or vice versa. That is so weird.
But that is the end of that story, folks.
Yup.
Yikes. Everyone sucks in that story.
Yeah.
My friend ruined my proposal, then she deleted the pictures.
They're out there still.
I, 26 female, and my partner, now fiancé, 29 male, have been together for 6 years and have 2 awesome kids together, 4 male and 1 male. Can you really know if they're that awesome?
If
they're
your kids,
1 and 4.
I don't know. My future kids are going to be awesome. I already know that.
I already know my kids are going to be awesome.
I already know my kids are awesome.
And my childhood friend, 26 female, we'll call her Allison, had always spoken about how she would be involved in my engagement somehow. For example, we joke about her being hidden in a bush somewhere taking photos while he proposed. By the way, this comes from It's All Good, you know. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my partner, we'll call him Jay, had been looking for a ring for around 5 months and planning the actual engagement for around 1 month. Allison lives a 7-hour drive from us, and we had organized to go to hers for the weekend. Jay and Allison had been planning the proposal, which I was mostly oblivious to, though I had my suspicions. I was told on the night to be ready for 5:30, as the table was booked for 6. So I was ready for 5:40, and we set off, getting there on time. Allison had set off about 10 to 15 minutes before me, Jay and the kids. We got to the restaurant, and after a while, I went outside with our 4-year-old to play hide and seek. I was followed out shortly by Jay and Allison while my back was turned. Jay got on one knee and asked me to marry him while Allison was videoing.
Oh.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Wow. I said yes, but I was extremely distracted by our 4-year-old who was running around. We had the meal, which cost £320. Allison then told me when we sat back down that the video
that's not bad.
Didn't
when you're
record.
celebrating, that's not bad.
Yeah. £320? Pricey. It's pricey. But also, I'm sorry, the video didn't record. The whole ordeal was extremely disappointing and anticlimactic. Jay knew what I wanted for a proposal, photos, a nice area, something small and cute. I didn't want much. It just wasn't anything like that. And to add insult, the video didn't record. The food was really poor in the restaurant, especially for £320. I'm sorry, it was bad? And £320? Dang.
Yeah, that sucks.
And they made mistakes on the orders, too. The restaurant itself was a bit drab. We were crammed in a corner. The high chair had no straps, so the 1-year-old kept escaping, and the gardens that had been described to Jay as lovely were small and honestly less than average. Anyhow, I spoke to Jay when we got home. We discussed how disappointed we both were. He then explained that he had asked Allison where the nicest restaurant in the area was, and she recommended the place. I'm sorry. She recommended? She recommended this place and forgot to record? She sabotaged you.
She ruined your day.
She literally ruined your day. Jay then asked Allison if she could have the table dressed with flowers and made to look really nice, which Allison agreed to do. Allison has a really nice property, and Jay had said what he wanted to do was propose to me in a beautiful part of the property. Allison was supposed to tell me we were going to get some family photos. Then he would propose while we had the kids, getting the reaction on camera and some really nice pictures of me and then the boys. Then we go to the restaurant, celebrate, and have some nice food. The only part of this she did was book a table.
Ooh, not even like pretty much the barest of minimum. The barest of minimum. Yeah.
My mom had offered money to Allison for decorations and the whole thing too, so money wasn't a problem. She didn't ask me to go outside and take photos to give Jay the opportunity to propose before we went out. The area on Allison's property where he originally wanted to propose wasn't available, and Jay only found that out an hour before. I'm sorry, the area on her property wasn't available? She's a freaking liar. She's a liar. But there were plenty of other places. I think this just highlights the disorganization again. She didn't dress the table, and she took no photos or videos. She did try to video the proposal, but it didn't record. A genuine mistake. But I would have hoped at a time like this, she'd have been more careful. She didn't take any photos after the proposal either while we were at the restaurant. So I have no photos of me and my boys, and one of the main reasons Allison was involved was to take pictures. To add, Jay was completely capable of organizing the proposal, and he could have contacted the restaurant to arrange flowers on the table and explain it was a proposal, but he wanted to involve Allison as per previous conversations we all had, and she said she was happy to sort it. She's a literal liar. I just don't understand why nothing went to plan and why she didn't keep up her end of the deal. Am I the a-hole? And there are some comments that I think are going to read through Allison's lies and deceit. Comment 1, not the a-hole. Allison clearly had some resentment towards you and Jay. She sabotaged the engagement deliberately. If she's not prepared to offer an apology or explanation, I'd consider distancing yourself until she gets her act together. Don't let her be maid of honor, bridesmaid, or be involved in any part of the planning of the wedding. Yeah, absolutely don't let her plan anything in this wedding. OP says, I'm honestly surprised this is the first comment with this insight, as the people IRL I've told have said this. It's not something I ever would have thought of myself either. I just don't see how she could ever have any resentment towards me. She's gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. Kind, sweet, just such a loving person. We've spoken briefly today. She asked how I was, had a bit of a small talk, but no mention of the engagement or anything. You need to talk about it now. My plan was for her to be maid of honor and, of course, have a big part in my wedding, but this has definitely made me consider this not being an option. I really hope there's a good explanation, mental health or something. I don't know. And there is another comment, but I think OP is being very forgiving and very wanting to be very understanding, which I think is good.
Genuinely, mistakes do happen,
Yeah.
but if it's such an important, birthday, it was a birthday, okay, it's a mistake. But this is literally a proposal, and it's a huge event.
And it wasn't just the recording. It was 6 different things.
And, come on. You failed not just one thing, you failed pretty much every single task other than getting a table. Yeah. And that's bare minimum.
Called and got a table?
Yeah.
I guess that's fine. Comment 2, so your friend didn't record your fiancé proposing and your engagement is ruined. How does that track? You're the a-hole. What? Weird comment. OP says, it's more the fact she didn't go with his plan at all. Didn't dress the table. Didn't set the opportunity up at her property like had been organized. Didn't take any photos after. The mistake of the recording not happening seemed genuine, which was fine. Comment 3 says, I'm confounded by how much importance you put on having your engagement event being just so. What is this? Engagements are important. Your fiancé sounds great, kind, flexible, accommodating, and understanding. Your fixation on how everything needs to be is your choice, but it also sets you up for disappointment. I'm not saying you are doing anything wrong, it's your choice. But from my view, you are distracting yourself from what you have, a wonderful relationship with an incredible sounding partner, with emphasis on appearance and ceremony. You do you, but from the perspective of someone who has lived twice as long as you, okay, well, you haven't learned anything. The created pomp and circumstance may not matter as much as the substance of your partnership and the memories you make together along the way. Peace. What are these comments? Opie says, my fiancé is great. He is everything you have described him as more and more. My frustration is with my friend not showing up how she said she would and not doing the things she said she would. That's where my frustration is. You are right, though. In the grand scheme of things, this doesn't matter. And in my relationship, it certainly doesn't. But maybe it does matter for my friendship and how much effort she's willing to put into other things. If she didn't put the effort in here that she said she had. Reply, I would take this as a lesson to have realistic expectations for your friend. If you want or need something done professionally, hire a professional. If you're okay with whatever comes out, including nothing, let your friend do it. And there is an update. That's the only reasonable comment.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's very true, but like still.
Friends do that like all the time. Friends and family help plan engagement parties all the time. It's like, I feel like usually
that's what
engagements aren't the ones being planned by professionals.
That's what friends are for.
That's literally what friends are for.
And I get it. I've seen proposals where there are professional photographers there to film it, and that's okay. But it's also like.
But usually.
It's sweet when you have your friends around you and you go, yeah, sweet. I don't know.
And also usually you have like, if you do have a professional photographer, you also have like someone like a friend recording too. And you have like a bunch of other stuff.
Sorry, guys. Again, this is not a birthday that we do every single year. Yeah. This is a proposal that should be a special moment.
Come on.
And we don't get to practice for this.
There is an update though. I asked Allison for the photos from the day. She sent them over. There were a few photos of the kids and one of me smiling with my ring, which is a nice photo. No photos of me and Jay or me and Jay and the boys. Jay had taken some photos of me and Allison on Allison's phone, which we looked at after, and they looked cute. I asked her for those photos, and she said she deleted them because she was blurry.
First of all, why are there photos of you? Like, yeah, there should be a couple, but, like, it's not about you. What?
She wasn't. I'd seen the photos. She said she'd check her recently deleted, but they weren't in there. It was obvious she deleted the photos because she didn't like how she looked, but I can't help but feel they weren't her memories to delete. I don't care if she looked like a swamp monster in the photos. She didn't. It wasn't about her. By the way, you know what this is about? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story.
All I'm saying to her is like, you know what? You do look a little blurry. I guess you won't be appearing in any of our wedding photos.
Yeah. You're not going to be in the wedding at all. Bye.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ay. What a nightmare this girl is. Me and Allison haven't really spoken since we got home. We left a day earlier than we were supposed to. Me and Jay have spoken about it and are both equally gutted because he thought him and Allison had sorted things to be special, but they weren't. So am I the a-hole? How do I even move on from this? And edit to add, Jay actually took the ring back, booked a whole new venue, a spa, for the day after, and proposed again with pictures.
Nice.
Videos, swans, and a willow tree, my favorite. He was capable of planning a nice engagement, but Allison had wanted to be involved. I adore Allison. We've been friends for 20 years. I'm just really disappointed she didn't put the effort into this that I would have expected her to. If it was too much, I'd have hoped she'd have said it was too much rather than just not doing anything that had been discussed. Exactly.
Yeah. The fact that you're like, put me up to the task, coach. Literally negative effort was given. You
suck, girl. You suck.
Yeah. I would have a discussion. She's not even owed that.
Yeah.
She knows
I'd be like, hey,
up.
you really dropped the ball. And you're not going to be maid of honor. You're not going to be in the bridal party.
You're like, I can't depend on you for any of that.
Anything.
So, sorry.
If I can't rely on you, then why are we friends?
Yeah.
My girlfriend wants to intervene before her best friend gets married.
Stop! In the name of love.
I, 37 male, and my girlfriend, let's call her Lil, 30 female, Have been together for just over a year, and we have a wonderful relationship. We met on a dating app and hit it off really well. Lil had just come out of a bad relationship and wasn't looking for anything serious, but we clicked. We've been together pretty much since our first date, and we're very happy. By the way, this comes from user helpfriend3150, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
We're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, Lil's lifelong best friend, let's call her Honey, 30 female, has been part of her life since childhood. They've shared countless memories, vacations, sports, they're both in the same sports club, and relationship ups and downs. Even their mothers are best friends. They're like sisters. If they've ever had rough patches, it's usually because of outside drama caused by their parents, not between the two of them. So now we come to the current situation, which leads me to write on Reddit. I have followed these stories online and asked my girlfriend if she thinks it's a good idea to see what strangers think about this saga. Before Lil and I got together, there was a period where both she and Honey were single and casually dating. During that time, Honey met Pete through mutual friends, I think. They started texting and meeting up, but they weren't officially a couple. In October, Lil and Honey went on vacation together for a week abroad. They were both single and did the typical single girls on holiday stuff, but nothing serious happened. Despite not being official with Honey, Pete was blowing up her phone during the entire trip, accusing her of sleeping with multiple guys.
Well, y'all aren't official.
She knows all about that.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa.
Not being official.
Okay.
That's her sweet spot.
Okay.
That's the money zone.
Okay. All right.
He even went as far as asking Lil, while on a video call with Honey, if they hooked up with guys they'd met. He didn't know Lil and was pushing in an upset manner to get information from her. Honey moved out of the frame and nodded her head, signaling to Lil to lie. After the trip, Honey didn't break things off with Pete. Instead, she started lying to him about what she was doing. In November, Lil and I met and started dating. Things went so well that we both ended things with other people quickly and became exclusive, though not official yet.
Yeah. That's so reasonable.
I don't have a great relationship with most of my family, so Christmas gatherings are small. Just me, my nephew, and his girlfriend. Since board games are dull with just 3 people, I asked Lil to join us even though we'd only been seeing each other a few weeks. She agreed, and it turned out to be a wonderful evening. We ate, drank, played games, and had fun. After my nephew and his girlfriend left, we went to bed. The next morning, I went to make coffee and returned to find Lil in tears, shaking. While I was gone, she had listened to voicemails Pete had left her between 3:30 and 4 in the morning the night before. In them, he shouted at her, accused her of being a bad influence, and said he wouldn't stay with Honey as long as Lil was part of her life.
Well, then let's get rid of Pete.
Yeah.
Adios, Pete.
Petey. I recorded the voicemails on my phone in case he deleted them later. We discussed going to the police, but Lil decided instead to call Honey. Honey brushed it off, saying Pete had been wasted and emotional, and promised to make him apologize.
I am wondering
also,
if
it's
like we just did not get what exactly he did.
It's unclear whether or not Honey, I guess what Honey was doing. Later that day, Pete sent Lil a short text apology and considered the matter closed. Honey didn't address it further. Lil blocked him everywhere and decided not to press charges.
What happened?
He must have threatened her.
He must have done
something.
something, because there's no way that they're just saying, "Oh, press charges" for no reason.
Yeah, there had to have been a threat.
Yeah.
1 week later, Honey and Lil left on another long vacation together. I was sad because I really liked spending time with Lil, but I wanted her to enjoy her trip. I would be nervous if my girlfriend was going on a trip with the girl who does cheat on her boyfriend and told her to lie. I'd be like, well, you're not going to do that,
It'd
right?
be like, Honey's the bad influence.
Right? Since she didn't buy a phone plan for the destination, we agreed to keep communication light. Just occasional texts when she had Wi-Fi. The problem was Honey did buy a phone plan. This meant she was constantly texting and calling Pete throughout the trip, reassuring him she wasn't cheating.
Yikes.
She even had to confirm things like not sleeping with the pilot during a 1-hour flight between islands. Meanwhile, Lil was sidelined, often ignored, while Honey focused on Pete's paranoia. Eventually, Lil asked if she could also have quick calls with me, just like Honey was doing. This upset Honey, who accused us of being constantly on the phone.
That's crazy. That's crazy. For her to be constantly on the phone with her boyfriend being like, I'm not cheating on you. I'm not cheating on you. And then Lil being like, hey, do you mind if I call my boyfriend? She's like,
boing
how
whip.
dare you? You're obsessed with your boyfriend.
Boing whip. To keep the peace, Lil reduced our calls. Pete also started setting bizarre rules like making their profile picture a couple's photo. Unsurprisingly, the vacation wasn't as great as Lil had hoped. Honey and Lil didn't even get around to talking about Pete's voicemails. By the time they were on their way back, I offered to fetch them at the airport and bring them both home since it didn't make sense for two guys to drive 90 minutes each way. So everyone agreed to this plan initially, but just before they left, Pete decided to drive Honey home himself. I think he probably worried she might sleep with me on the way.
It's what I said. That's what I said.
Come on, Petey. You're pathetic. After the holiday, the situation stayed at status quo. Pete did not reach out to Lil to apologize, and Lil refused to give in. A few weeks later was Lil's birthday. We went to an escape room and then for dinner. I got to know Honey better, and she is a wonderful, beautiful, smart woman.
Don't tell Pete that.
Do not tell Pete that.
Don't tell Pete that.
Do not repeat that to Pete.
Nope.
So I didn't understand what she sees in Pete. That evening, she told me she was looking for apartments with Pete, though she hadn't told Lil yet. They continued to do sport together and sometimes went out, sometimes with me, but never anything with Pete. Honey did tell Lily that he improved with his jealousy issues, but other problems came to light. He lost his driver's license because of drogas.
Oh.
He seems to drink too much and gets aggressive, sometimes drives when wasted, attacked friends of Honey verbally, and in at least one case, grabbed her.
Yikes. This is all very concerning.
Throw Pete in the ocean!
In the ocean, right away.
He can swim.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll learn.
And then he can go swim and find a new woman.
Once he also sulked and gave silent treatment for a whole day during a long vacation because Honey noted the points of a card game wrong. During the trip, they were talking about children and decided that Honey should stop birth control. What the what?
Honey should not have a child with Pete.
Come on, man.
No.
After the point counting incident, she decided it was better to stay on, but didn't tell him that. He thought they were trying when they weren't. After a few weeks, she then decided it would be a good idea to start a family with this man and went off birth control. What the F?
Honey.
OP continues, Honey is not innocent in this whole story.
Well, yeah, it didn't seem like that. It seemed like she was hooking up with other guys.
Honey is still friends with her ex, Joseph. At the beginning of Honey's relationship with Pete, they discussed this topic, and he said he didn't want her to see Joseph anymore. I agree. Nobody can decide who their significant other has contact with, yet either Honey should say she doesn't agree and communicate that she still meets Joseph, or she should respect this boundary. But she still meets Joseph every week for lunch, sometimes going out with friends, drinking, and often flirting together, and Pete has no idea. Every time Lil attempts to speak to Honey about Pete's toxic behavior, she just ignores her. If something comes over texts, she ghosts her. Once Honey and Lil went to an event together and had a blast. While they were enjoying the concerts, Joseph, by coincidence, met them and hung around with them and other friends the whole evening. With every drink, Honey and Joseph got closer, like magnets. When my girlfriend said she wanted to go home, at this point we lived together, Honey first wanted to stay with the others. Lil insisted that Honey should come with us, as she didn't want to be alone at 3 a.m. and was sure nothing good would happen between Honey and Joseph. Honey eventually agreed, and they had one of those late-night conversations on the way home. Lil expressed that the relationship between Honey and Pete made her a different person. Honey's lying to her boyfriend and her best friend and expecting others to lie to Pete too, since everyone knows she still meets Joseph, except him. A few days later, Lil and Honey met again and followed up on their discussion. Honey admitted that it was partly true and said she wasn't sure about her relationship.
Then why are you having a baby with this man or trying to have a baby? That's crazy.
It's the dumbest thing you could do.
Very dumb.
She mentioned practical reasons, like the new apartment, as to why she wouldn't break up right away. Lil came home hopeful, thinking maybe things were moving in the right direction. I honestly feel sorry for my girlfriend. I also have lifelong friends who are like family to me. I can feel the distance growing between Honey and Lil, and I wish they could keep their friendship forever. Honey just doesn't seem to be able to make reasonable decisions concerning Joseph, and doesn't make him apologize to Lil. If my significant other did something like this to one of my friends, I would push her every day to reconcile. As it's going now, Honey and Lil see each other maybe every 2 months, except for weekly trainings. Lil doesn't visit Honey if Pete is around. We don't do couples evenings with them, even though we love doing those with other friends. It's just not a pleasant situation. Now we, Lil and I, came back from a wonderful vacation, and on the following Monday, Honey and Lil had to attend a sports club meeting. That is when Honey showed Lil the ring on her finger. Lil just managed to say she was happy for her, yet definitely not for herself.
Oh, honey.
Oh, honey, honey,
Oh,
honey.
honey.
Honey, honey, honey. When Lil came home, she just cried. I comforted her, and we talked for a while. She knows Honey will probably ask her to be a bridesmaid, but she just can't. I suggested she takes a final approach to speak with Honey, to say that she believes this relationship will not work out, not only because of what Pete did to her, but also because of his toxic traits towards Honey. She is worried that in the end, her bestie will get hurt and she'll have to take care of her and rebuild her. She would prefer Honey not be hurt in the first place. And by the way, the first place you should go to if you're looking for full episodes of stories like this is your favorite podcast platform. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, just search OK Storytime. You can listen to over 73 days worth of stories. 24 hours times 73. That's a lot of numbers.
That's a lot of stories.
There's a little bit more story left here.
Unfortunately, there's not really much that you can do to convince, or Lil can do to convince Honey that what she's doing is crazy, because Honey is set in her ways, and hopefully she'll figure out that this is a bad relationship.
It's true. She's set.
Yeah.
So Lil thinks Honey has the irrational fear that she will not find anyone better to build a family with. I told her Honey has plenty of options and time. It won't be easier if she is 40, a single mom, and dealing with the trauma of a toxic marriage. So Reddit, let us know. Should my girlfriend try to speak to her bestie again, or just let it slip? Should I maybe talk to her? If she gets angry with me, I don't really care, as I never got close to Honey anyway, since we don't do much together. I just want to support my girlfriend in trying to save this special friendship. And that's the end of that story.
I mean, Lil could try and talk to her. I don't think Honey would listen. But yeah, she could try one more time and then maybe distance after that.
Can't hurt trying the third time, or however many times. But
Yeah.
if she's not going to receive it, she's not going to receive it.
Not much you can do.